So there's a huge battle brewing over the future of AI. And you know what it all comes down to? One simple question. Should your conversations with a chatbot have ads? Now, that might just sound like a business decision, but it's actually turned into this huge philosophical fight, and it's sparked a very public feud between two of the biggest names out there. And it all kicked off with this just bizarre line from a satirical ad. I want you to imagine you're having this deep, personal chat with your AI assistant, right? And then, just completely out of nowhere, it tries to get you to sign up for some sketchy dating site. Well, that's pretty much exactly what a recent ad from the AI company Anthropic showed. And make no mistake, this was not just some funny sketch. This was basically a declaration of war. It was a very, very public shot fired directly at Anthropic's biggest rival, OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT. So how on earth did we get here? Let's break it all down.
All right, let's dive right in and see exactly what kicked this whole thing off and how it blew up so fast.
Okay, so here's the play-by-play. Back in early 2026, OpenAI just drops this bombshell. They're going to start testing ads in the free version of ChatGPT. And Anthropic's response? This viral ad campaign that totally plays on every user's worst fear. An AI that listens to your private chats to sell you stuff you definitely don't want. As you can probably guess, that did not sit well with OpenAI's CEO, Sam Altman. And Altman, wow, he didn't just disagree. He went on the attack. He called the ad clearly dishonest and then accused Anthropic of doublespeak. I mean, he was basically calling them liars in public. This went way beyond a simple business disagreement. It was personal, and it was playing out for everyone to see. Now, to really understand why these companies are fighting so hard, you just have to follow the money. Or, in this case, the incredible amount of money they are just burning through. ChatGPT is a phenomenon. I mean, it's got a staggering 850 million monthly users. That is it's a massive number. But there's a catch, and trust me, it's a big one. Just look at this. A whopping 95% of all those users are on the free plan. That means only a tiny 5% of their enormous user base is actually paying for the service. And when your business costs a fortune to run, well, that's just a recipe for disaster. And that disaster has a very, very big number attached to it. Projections are showing that OpenAI could burn through an absolutely jaw-dropping $15 billion by 2029. That's not just unsustainable, that's a death sentence for pretty much any company. So what's their big solution? Well, that brings us right back to the ads. Okay, so let's take a look at OpenAI's plan and the thinking behind it. Because for them, it's really all about getting AI into the hands of as many people as humanly possible. For Sam Altman, this isn't just about the money, it's a mission. He really believes AI is a tool that should be for everyone, not just for people who can afford it. And like he points out in this quote, more people use ChatGPT for free just in Texas than the total number of people using Anthropic's Claude in the entire country. From his point of view, ads are a small price to pay for giving the whole world access to this game-changing technology. And this, right here, perfectly illustrates the huge difference in their goals. OpenAI is playing the volume game. They're aiming for billions of users. Anthropic, on the other hand, is trying to position its AI as something totally different, a premium, high-value, trusted tool. All right, now let's flip over to Anthropic and their radically different vision for AI's future. For them, it is not about the numbers at all. It's about the quality of the experience. Anthropic's argument is actually pretty simple, but it's powerful. Talking to an AI isn't the same as just typing something into a search bar. It's a real conversation. And in a conversation, we're more open, maybe a little more vulnerable, and as they say here, more susceptible to influence. For them, sticking ads into that intimate space is a total betrayal of user trust. So this fundamental disagreement, it leads to two completely different business models. You've got OpenAI trying to have it both ways, right? Paid subscriptions for the power users, and then an ad-supported free version for everybody else. Anthropic? Nope. They're all in on that premium experience, focusing on big enterprise contracts and paid subscriptions for individuals. So here's the bottom line. For OpenAI, ads are basically a necessary evil to bring AI to the world. For Anthropic, they are an absolute deal breaker, a violation of the sacred trust between you and the machine. These two companies aren't just selling different products, they're selling completely different futures. But while these two are busy fighting it out, there is this 800-pound gorilla in the room that gets to play by a completely different set of rules. And you know who I'm talking about. Google. Google's AI, Gemini, is an absolute beast. I mean, with 750 million monthly users, it is already right on ChatGPT's heels. But Google has a secret weapon, an advantage so big it just changes the entire game. And here's the absolute kicker. Google doesn't need to put ads in Gemini. Why? Because they're already printing money. Their existing ad business brings in over $400 billion a year. That means they could afford to run Gemini at a loss forever, just using their massive profits to crush the competition. It's not just a luxury, it's an almost unbeatable advantage. So what does this whole high-stakes corporate battle royale mean for you, the person who's actually going to be talking to these AIs? Well, it looks like you're going to have a choice to make. You can go with the OpenAI model, free access to a crazy powerful AI, but you got to be okay with your chats maybe being used to sell you stuff. Or you can pick the Anthropic model, a private, ad-free experience, but you'll have to open your wallet. Or there's the Google model, a free and powerful tool funded by a completely separate advertising empire. This is so much bigger than just which company makes the most money. The winner of this ad war is going to get to decide what it even means to talk to an AI. They will set the rules for a relationship that could become one of the most important ones in our lives. This is about way more than business. It's about the future of how humans and computers interact. So, here's the question I really want to leave you with. What is the price of intelligence? Are we willing to accept ads inside our most personal digital conversations just to get free access to this world-changing tech? Or are some things, like a private, unfiltered conversation, worth paying for? The answer to that question is going to define not just the future of AI, but the future of our digital lives.